the emergence of this spectacular Ioniq 5, Hyundai hasn't really spent a whole lot of time talking about its other EV, the diminutive Kona. We're going to change that right now.
While it might not look like it, at first glance the Kona has gotten some upgrades and refreshes since its initial appearance. For starters, it's 1.6 inches longer. Yes, subtle. The front end has seen some changes, though if you see one driving past you quickly on the highway, it might be tough to tell.
Hyundai has replaced the dimpled front end with one that's a little bit smoother and more aerodynamic. Also helping you in the aero department, you're going to get intakes here and at the fender. Overall, it gets a little bit more of a sculpted shape, I think, making it look a bit more sophisticated.
The Kona EV also gets new taillights and a new rear fascia, which mimics what's happening up front as far as the bumper integrating nicely with everything else. It also gets specifically designed wheels that also help in the aerodynamics department.
When it comes to the inside, you'll get a new center stack, and driver display and infotainment can both come with available 10.25-inch screens.
There's nothing earth-shattering about the layout. It's very vertical, but also practical, which is important.
Overall, I really like how everything is laid out in here. It's pretty intuitive as far as its setup, and there's a handy mix of buttons to touchscreen. Now, for some people, it may be a little bit button heavy, but to me, all this does is it takes some of the layering out of the UX system, which personally, I like. It's just more handy to have right here. Boop, 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 boop.
Yes, this is a diminutive car, but how does the legroom feel with that extra 1.6 inches?
I get power adjusted seats, which are really nice, and I am actually pretty good in here. I'm not very tall, but I have a decent amount of headroom. And if we go into the back, I'm pretty sure that behind me, it's going to be absolutely fine for a passenger back here, someone maybe who has a little bit longer legs. I wouldn't go any taller with the body because, ooh, you're getting a little closer with the sloped roofline. For somebody, so if say if like Mike Danger were sitting here and you're looking at a little bit more recline, it's a little bit more cramped, but it's still workable. Yeah, I mean, these seats are comfortable too. It's a nice place to be.
Other EVs in the subcompact category include the Chevy Bolt, Volkswagen ID.4, Kia Niro EV, and for good measure, if you're looking to splurge, the Volvo XC40 Recharge. When it comes to powering the Kona EV, Hyundai employs a 150 kilowatt electric motor that gets its power from a 64 kilowatt hour lithium battery. For something so small, those are pretty impressive power numbers.
So how does that translate when you're driving? Well, if you're looking to have a little bit of fun and really maximize that instant torque on your acceleration, then I would suggest getting it out of eco mode because that really does ratchet you back quite a bit. But if you throw it into sport mode, you really do feel a little bit of excitement when you're driving. I will say though that once that torque kind of reaches maximum, your power does kind of drop off a little bit, but at least you get up to speed quickly. Overall, I mean, this is a zippy little thing.
The Kona's long wheelbase and shorter overhangs help it in the handling department. Around corners, you know what? This feels pretty good. It has a nice weight distribution, center of gravity feels good, nice and balanced, not a lot of significant body roll, and overall, the ride quality and comfort feels pretty solid.
The ride feels pretty comfortable overall. I like the feel of the seat, and the ride is not like super luxurious cushiony, but it's not uncomfortable either. I think it kind of strikes a nice balance. The steering, you know, there's kind of a big dead spot on center, and the weight is okay. You know, it's not winning any awards or blowing my mind, but that being said, when I turn, it turns the car. That's ultimately what you want. I can hear a bit of road noise in here, and when it's getting up to speed, The Kona makes this kind of weird like noise. It's not exactly pleasing. Maybe it's one of those things that if you have the radio on, you're not exactly going to notice it. Is it a deal breaker? No, but you know, it might interrupt a conversation. That's not good. The visibility in the Kona is really pretty good. There's a lot of nice little like sort of itty bitty windows. So even though it has a little bit of a slopey back, like you can still see. There's not a massive C-pillar back there. Your regenerative braking control is separated out from the drive modes, and you have paddles here where you can make adjustments. If you hit the paddle on the right, it diminishes the amount of regen, so you lift your foot off the throttle and you basically keep rolling. On the left, you can add up to 3 levels, and when you're in that 3rd level, it really does, like as soon as you pull your foot off the throttle, it really does kind of ratchet you back. But maybe somewhere in between is a nice balance. It's not a pure one pedal drive experience, but it doesn't feel too intrusive. And as far as how it feels around turns, whee! I mean, this little thing does pretty well.
And when it comes to keeping you safe, Hyundai's Smart Sense safety features come standard and include forward collision and blind spot warnings and other optional features like rear cross traffic alerts and smart cruise control with stop and go.
The Kona EV is level 2 charge capable, but it is also DC fast charge capable. You can get from 0 to 80% of the 258 mile total range in about 47 minutes. It's not lightning fast, but you could probably just plug in for a little bit, get a couple of extra miles in there, and then get home. And then when you level 2 charge at home, that is going to take you a total of 9 hours to charge fully.
If you get the SEL trim and above on the Kona EV, you get a battery warming system that helps it out in cold weather, minimizing battery loss. There are 3 Kona EV trim levels. The first is the SE. It gets 17-inch wheels, heated side mirrors, cloth-powered seats that are both power adjustable and heated, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto both come standard. Pay a little extra for the SEL and you get the larger 10.25-inch screen and wireless charging, but you won't get wireless smartphone integration. Come on, Hyundai, this is something you guys have got to figure out with this bigger screen. But a leather-wrapped steering wheel is, however, in your future, as is a sunroof. If getting lots of extras is what you're really after, you'll have to pony up to the limited trim. That bumps you up to things like LED headlights, leather-trimmed and ventilated front seats, a Harman Kardon audio system, and that leather steering wheel gets a heating function. You'll also get rain-sensing windshield wipers.
For the Kona EV's top price of $41,000, that seems like a lot of features. If you're convinced that this is the car for you and you are looking for a fair purchase price, head to the link above and KBB will help you find it.
And if you're holding out for more than just a few redesigned elements, you won't have to wait much longer. The 2nd generation Kona will arrive soon with 4 variants, including an ICE, HEV, and EV, as well as a sporty N-Line. More on those later.
While it may not be the looker that the Ioniq 5 is, the Kona EV still gets respectable range, great tech, and really spirited and fun driving dynamics. If EVs are new to you and you're in the market, I'd put this one on your list.